All right, please join me for this emotional freedom technique. Happy full moon, June 21st, day after summer solstice here in the Northern Hemisphere, Mount Shasta, California. I'm right next to the rivers here, all by myself in the morning. And we're gonna tap in. And we're gonna tap in on today's consciousness is to, instead of tapping on the shadow today, and how it is that we can pull forward all those things that are traumatizing us and bothering us to be able to bring them up so that we can release them. Right now, we're just going to tap in for something else. Highest timelines, highest potential. Consider it a quantum jump, if you will. Although you're not going to be jumping unless you want to jump, because you can just step into your new self and the new reality, and here's how you do it. So we're going to do a setup statement on the karate chop point, doing the emotional freedom technique known as tapping. We're going to be tapping on this point right here with, I just use my whole hand. And we're going to do a setup statement 3 times. Even though I've been on lower timelines, walking journeys that have cost me a lot more than I wanted to spend energetically, physically, and emotionally, I choose to deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. Even though I've been walking a life on lower timelines, going through all kinds of different things in life called experiences that aren't necessarily beneficial for me or happy or fun or joyful. However, I've gone through them, and I choose to deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself for all of the energy that I've collected on those timelines. Even though I've walked a life in lower timelines, not being the best version of myself that I can be now, because I didn't know that I could be a better version of myself, I choose to deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. That's 3 times setup statement of, now we've gotten all the other timelines all involved that we've ever been on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to raise up. So this is right here with the 2 fingers. I'm just going to go through them and you'll see. So even though I was on lower timelines, even though I walked a life that was not necessarily in alignment with my divine assignment now, even though I've been on all multiple different journeys that have caused me to have scars and wounds and emotional tearing of my aura and all of these different things that aren't in alignment, even though I've walked next to people who are also in a current state of crisis, not in alignment with being their highest and best version of themselves, even though I've walked on and still am right now in a lower timeline, I'm choosing to shift that timeline right now to a higher timeline. To a higher timeline where everything's always working out for me. I live the best life ever. I eat the best food ever. I drink the best water ever. I go the best places ever. Everything's always working out for me. How does it get better than this? This is the way that I know to free myself from the shackles of my own imagination. Tap on the head, freed up. Thank you. I really do truly, deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself for where I'm at right now. Even though I was on a lower timeline, now I'm on a higher timeline. And even though I was on a lower timeline, now I'm on a higher timeline. I can go higher than this. I can keep on shifting until I reach a place that I find myself content and joyful. And in that place, I want to sit and relax and meditate, hang from a hammock and drink a coconut, if you will. You want to stay in that place as long as you possibly can, because you know that's going to shift too. And as it shifts to a greater timeline, all you will need to do is continue focusing on how does it get better than this, tapping on all these meridian points, freeing up all the things that are standing in your way that aren't allowing you to keep on believing in what you know to be true, which is that I'm unlimited, I can do anything, I can change my life at any moment in time, I can always quantum jump, I can always quantum shift. This is just an easy way to do it, where I'm tapping on meridian points, and as I tap on these meridian points, I'm opening them up the stuck routes that they take. So that the energy, instead of going down the same pathway all of the time, now has all those other pathways that it can go down, and it shifts reality. So then we continue with the flow of the circuit and completing on the head. Thank you very much. I love my life. How does it get better than this? I love my life. How does it get better than this? This is the best day ever. Everything's always working out for me. This is amazing. I didn't know it could be so simple to just tap in to my highest potential. I didn't know it could be so simple to just tap in to my highest potential. Now that I know it can be this simple, just simplify it all down to the simplify ratios of how it is that our fingers and our arms and our body, everything fits together in this divine flow. And if you let it flow to you and through you, and then these meridian points open themselves up, they let out all the toxic energy, it flows and transmutes itself, And then you tap back into, I am joyful, I am happy, I am grateful, I am appreciative, I live the best life ever, I can do anything, I understand this. So I get out of the way all of the things that don't serve me so that I can put back in what does serve me. So I empty out my cup, fill it back up with the things that I know are a part of the flow, and that is the way that it goes. The circuit, you see? Now that's it. So emotional freedom technique is a thousands and year old technique on how it is that the acupuncture points in our entire body. In acupuncture and Chinese medicine, they would actually put a needle in at these acupuncture points to release the stuck stagnant energy so that you could actually start to have the chi flow to you and through you again. But then what we realize in acupressure is that you could actually put pressure on those points and actually have the same thing happening. And what we realize is that by tapping on it and putting pressure on those meridian points throughout your body, certain ones and there's lots of them, just so you know, they cover your body. We're just using this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, these right here, and then one under here, your armpit right here, right there, and then top of the head. That's all we're using, because in this cycle right here, in this pattern, it's to call up all of that amygdala energy in the back of the brain, where it is that you're having trauma happen and you're just freaked out, you don't know what to do, and you don't know how to operate or where to go, and you can't see any other potentials. That's because the amygdala, the back of the brain, is operating and it's shutting down the big frontal cortex of your gigantic head that has all the hopes, ideas, and dreams and visions, and how it all works out, and manifesting and receiving is all there. So in order to see through that, we have to actually tell that back part to quiet itself down. And the best way to quiet it down is to tell it that it's safe. And you can't just say, I'm safe. You have to tell it I'm safe by doing things like breathing in 5 seconds. Breathe out 5 seconds. Breathe in 5 seconds. Breathe out 5 seconds. And if you continue that, that's the mirror wave. That's the breath of 0.1 hertz. That actually slows down the entire being to tell it, I am safe. So it's not on a panic, it's not on fight or flight or freeze or faint, it's not on any of those, that the frontal cortex starts to operate back with the heart in union, and then we become coherent. Then the waves start to emanate. And then through law of attraction and action, we start to call to us what it is that we truly want to have in our lives, which is the frequency of it. Not the freaked out frequency of it, but that incoherent and alignment frequency with it. And the only way we can do that is by actually doing practices every single day. Every day that I wake up in the morning, the very first thing that I do is I tune in with myself for as long as I possibly can, doing a bunch of these different practices, from breath work to EFT to Qigong, energy work. Then I chant to my favorite chanting. So your way can be your way. My way is my way. All of us can have our own ways. The point is that you have your personalized way in the morning that feeds who you are in your journey on this planet. And if you have that when you awaken in the morning and you feed yourself that chronic energy from the flow of the fact that I'm in a body and I'm beautiful and I'm amazing and I can do anything, I'm unlimited, and even if I had problems yesterday, today's a new day, and I can actually get through those problems with solutions that today they're offered to me. Yesterday they may not have been here, but today, through the practice of keeping up and getting the momentum as we stabilize our ship here, the momentum of this happy full moon is, don't be scared to do the work on being the best you can be. The only way through is to go through all the way. And you got to see it from rock bottom down here, where it is that you don't have anything and you're just barely getting by and shit's just how it is, to rising yourself up and then falling down, and then doing the same thing and then rising up and then falling down. And eventually you get good with the dancing and you just know that it's all a part of the flow. So when you dance, you just go with it, and if it shakes off, you shakes off. Oh, shake it off. Let it go, let it go. Don't hold on to those emotional states, because if you do, they become trauma, and then we got to tap on them to be able to release them to put back in new energy. So instead of creating more traumas in your life, just listen to that intuition that you know that you have inside that's telling you what to do. You know you can trust it. It's always got your back. It always has, and it always will. The universe loves you, and you should love the universe too. Learning how to do that is a gigantic and amazing experiential journey. It's going to take you forever to learn, but you got forever, so don't worry about it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to remember that in the beginning we started with an emotional freedom technique, EFT. And we were doing it for highest timelines. And so for me, the highest timeline is sharing this with you, hoping it helps you to remember it's not all about the shadow work, but also it's not all about the light work. Sometimes it's about the colorful work. So we need to realize, in balancing out the negative mind with the positive mind with the neutral mind, is that that's all mind. Outside of mind is that we have divine flow. And divine flow already knows where it's going to go and what it's going to do and how it's going to flow. So if you allow it to flow to you and through you, you'll always have enough of everything that you need. Enough people out there love you and appreciate you that they're going to invite you to beautiful places. They're going to feed you and give you the best water ever, and they're going to nurture you and love you, and you're going to do the same as you play music and you dance along together in this divine golden age. Happy full moon, aloha, happy solstice, aloha. Ciao for now. Check out my other pages if you want.